Well, it's the 4th of July weekend. We made another one. 2022. America is struggling to find her soul. There's political chaos and the feeling that no one is in control. Now, not everyone is going to say that out loud, but most of us are feeling it. The struggle includes big questions and even more significant problems in finding solutions. When does life begin? When does freedom of speech end and freedom from harassment begin? What is the difference between equity and equality? Can people pray in public places without fear of reprimand in the future? How far does the Second Amendment go? And how can a 29-year-old transgender female compete with teenage girls, win a competition, and be declared okay? Why are millions of nursing home seniors struggling to meet financial obligations while their children and grandchildren, as caretakers, are receiving little respect and very little support from the government? While the government gives billions to other nations and billions to nations that even hate us. I was talking to a soldier I casually met at a fast food restaurant as we stood in line. We talked about the military. I was in the Air Force, he's in the Army, and we started talking about places we had served. He mentioned that he had just gotten back from an out-of-country assignment. He and his unit learned very quickly that the people of that nation hated them. As a matter of fact, the people of that nation would have been just as happy if they all died. He told me it's very difficult to sacrifice being away from family and being in harm's way for a people that hate you. And I said, yes, I understand the feeling. You know, we spend money as American government as if debt will never come knocking on our door. America has a discernment problem. You see, debt will come knocking on the door at some point. It may come in the form of recession, depression, inflation, war, civil unrest, poverty, crime, or some other calamity, but it will come, and it will come knocking. Sometimes we even treat death that way, that somehow we are going to escape death. We may even convince ourselves, well, they're going to discover the fountain of youth before I get to that point of death. And so we think somehow death is far, far away, and it will never come knocking. Well, and others will tell you that death is a friend, not an enemy. But those of us who have tasted the sting of death through a loved one's death know death is no friend. The history of the human race does not give me much hope that people will solve these issues. Adam and Eve failed. The first sibling murder occurred in the first generation. The modern idea of defunding the police, giving felons more chances, being kinder to criminals, and declaring buildings are not people does not elevate my mood or give me hope. When the red warning light comes on in my car, removing the bulb or cutting the wires will not solve the problem. It simply moves the problem down the road, kicks the can down the road. And if kindness and love were enough, Jesus would not have been executed on the cross. The only peace that I see in Scripture and the only hope that I can offer you is the peace that God grants nations and the peace that God will grant people that seek Him. Even during trials, there can be a sense of peace. Even during death, there can be peace from God. Not that death is a friend. Death is the last enemy. But God is even with us then. Paul says there is a peace from God that exceeds our expectations, that exceeds our understanding, that is beyond our comprehension. The only true peace comes from Jesus. We need to pray for peace for our leaders, for their hearts, and for our hearts. Then perhaps America will find her soul. The United States of America is still the best in my book. I salute her flag. I served under that flag. And I thank God for this country and our freedom. But I do know The only peace we will ever find, that is true peace, will be found in Jesus Christ. Now may God grant to you unspeakable joy and peace beyond your comprehension. And may you have a great 4th of July weekend. God bless you.